Alright guys, welcome back to Manager Mode. We kick off here with some disappointing news actually. James McLean has definitely confirmed that he wants to leave the club. He's not impressed with my selection policies and he wants to leave. So I don't really have an option really. He's going to have to go on the transfer list. But we come into this first game here against West Brom. I know we do have a game in hand. If we can win this, then we have the chance to move up to ninth, I think it is, which would kind of put us in contention for maybe pushing on a little bit more and getting into those Europa League spots as we move further through the season. But Stephen Fletcher manages to get free here, gets a good shot away, and Olsen sticks an arm out, and it rifles up into the air off his arm. Referee gives us a penalty, and of course Craig Gardner's going to take it. Dead ball specialist pops it into the top corner, and thank you very much. In the 24th minute, we will take a 1-0 lead. Now, West Brom are a dangerous side, to be completely honest. They've got a lot of pace in their team with Shane Long and Odden Wingy, and decent deliveries with Chris Brunt as well. He's got a fantastic left foot. Graham Dorrans is a creative player as well. But you can see the stats at half time. We were on top. Possession-wise, it was 50-50, but we'd had more chances and we were more accurate with our chances. But Zolt Anguira there manages to get the ball inside to Graham Dorrans, and a trickling effort. I was really disappointed with Simon Mignolet there. I really think he should have done better with that, but unfortunately they get another chance here. And Odden Wingy this time, Mignolet does a lot better and manages to push that ball around the corner, but they swapped pace for pace here. Peter Odden Wingy goes off, and Chucho Benitez, who I don't know whether you remember a few years ago, he was at Birmingham, and he terrorised defences in the Premier League with his pace, and he did the same to us here. Gets beyond the last defenders. Good save from Mignolet, but unfortunately the ball drops to Zolt Anguira, who slots it into the back of the net, and at 85th minute that puts us 2-1 down, and that is unfortunately how the game finished. We do take a defeat from this first game of the episode, but the second half was particularly disappointing for us in that game. We had 4 shots and 3 on target at half time, and we still only had 4 shots and 3 on target at full time. So not particularly impressing. And I didn't place McLean on the transfer list straight away because I didn't think it was that urgent. But apparently I really should have done, and the board had to intervene and put him on the transfer list, and he was. The media picked up on him in this second game there. The cutscene went straight to McLean, and we had to play a weakened side actually against QPR because this game was only 2 days after the previous one, and they went close to an over here with fouling, just slotting that ball just wide, and we kind of rode our luck first half. But Hoylett here, using his pace to get down the left-hand side, gets a good ball in, and I'm going to show you the replay here. Apparently this is handball and they get a penalty, but we've not had our luck, shall I say, when it comes to penalty decisions, and clearly there you can see the ball comes off Andy Johnson's head. Quayle's hand is nowhere near it, and then, as if our luck isn't bad enough, Ji-sung Park puts it straight down the middle. Kieran Westwood in goal just kind of watches it go over the top of his head, makes no attempt to save it. Oh, where's the ball? Oh shit, it's behind me. It's in the goal, and we're 1-0 down, but we try to get straight back into it just before half time here. David Vaughan pushing on, trying to play in Louis Saha, manages to get a first time shot away on his weakened right foot, but keeper makes a good save. I think they've got Julio Cesar in goal for this, so it's going to be hard to beat. And Jack Colback here manages to get an extra bit of space, and Cesar again makes a good save. This is just after half time actually. We had kind of a spell of pressure, and that spell of pressure continued here. Louis Saha with a good turn manages to get away from defenders, and on his left foot he is always going to finish that into the bottom corner. 51st minute, and that spell of pressure gets a result. We do manage to get back in the game. They have a corner here, and it almost trickles, almost loops into the back of the net, but Kieran Westwood is able to get his hands on it on the line, keep it from going in, and Louis Saha again was at the heart of everything flowing through us this second half, and he gets a great turn away from the defender, and how is that for a finish? Louis Saha has a left foot of love. I stand by it. Watch the ball here. It's going into the bottom corner and swerves away from the keeper at just the right time to go in off the post, and that gets us the vital 3 points. We do bounce back from that previous defeat, and those 3 points do help loft us up the table towards those Europa League places. So it's important that we keep a good run of form going here. So we move on into the next game in a minute. We do come up against Norwich on Saturday the 1st of December, but a big thing here, we've had another international offer, and it's from Sweden. Now, we turned down the Hungarian one, but Sweden do have a lot of very good players. Obviously our very own Seb Larsson, and obviously Zlatan Ibrahimovic, but I have stalled to start off with. Let me know in the comments down below, shall we take the Sweden offer or shall we wait for a better one? I'm not really too sure whether a better one will come, so we'll have to wait and see what you guys think as to where we go from there. But we come into this game away at Norwich, And we do sit ninth. We have moved up the table a little bit, but we are 3 or 4 points away from those Europa spots, and we don't have a very good start here. Tetty there, a good flowing move from Norwich, and he manages to slot the ball underneath Simon Mignolet and put us 1-0 down. It was a stronger team this time out, but obviously I started Louis Saha ahead of Stephen Fletcher. I can't really drop him after a two-goal crusade against QPR in that previous game, but I did bring him off at half time because we did go 2-0 down and he wasn't having that much of an impact. So brought on Stephen Fletcher, and Craig Gardner here. Unlucky with the first effort, but Honda picks up the loose ends, manages to get it back to Craig Gardner, who, with a good turn, finds a yard and puts it into the back of the net, and that brings it back to 2-1. And we were dominant again. We had another spell of pressure just after half time. Stephen Fletcher gets away, good save. And Antonini here, the left back, manages to ride the challenge, and then on his weakened right foot puts it into the bottom corner of the net even, and that brings us back to 2-2. And that's how it stayed for the majority of the end of the second half. But they do get another dodgy penalty. Watch this, the replay. He puts his leg out, doesn't really catch him. The player kind of catches our player on his follow through from the shot, and thankfully, thank the Lord, Stephen Morrison rifles his penalty off the bar and it falls straight into the arms of Simon Mignolet. And we do manage to scrape a point from that fixture there away at Norwich, which really we should be winning if we want to make anything of ourselves in this season. But a couple of surprise results there. Man United only getting a draw away at Reading, and unfortunately Martin Kelly is going to be out for 3 months with a broken toe. So Danny Rose is going to be having to fill that spot in the first team. Hopefully, he has been doing quite well recently. He has been making some progress with his stats. So hopefully that will continue in the next episode. But come back in the next one. We do have a couple of tough fixtures coming up. Chelsea at home and Man United away. So come back next time. See how we get on in that. Let me know in the comments what you think we should do about the Sweden offer. I think I might accept it, but obviously I want your guys' opinions first. And like the video if you did like. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you next time.